We're pretty, punctual?
We are. At least for our live virtual studio audience portion. If you're watching this on playback on YouTube or on television on Abington Cam at 9 p.m., which is the Miami Vice slot, then it's 9 p.m. where you are. Welcome to the Worst Talk Show. I'm Angie C. That is handsome boyfriend Dave.
Hello.
And, I'd like to say welcome back, but I don't know if we're going to have any repeat visitors. Let's hope so.
If you're new, it's going to be great. If you're a repeat customer, you're in just a glutton for punishment.
Thanks!
So everybody's happy.
So you being here means you're officially part of our show, which gets played back Friday nights at 9 on Abington Cam, AbCam, as well as we have our own playlist on the Abington Community Access YouTube page.
But we don't like to brag.
We do like to brag, quite a bit actually. But thank you, because your comments show up, and if we will feature comments that sort of show
We have
up.
the technology now.
It's very cool. We have
Lisa, welcome. Melanie, cousin, welcome.
We have magical elves that help with such things.
Jim Pericotti, Rhymes with Manicotti is here.
Hey Jim, you're always on time.
Ethan Tachi is here. Now wait.
I just got friend requested.
Did I hear that he friend requested you? I don't think I got a friend request.
Wow, your voice just went really
high up
there.
It did.
Interesting.
I'm hurt.
So we have lots to discuss this week. Go ahead. You have to make sure your volume is turned down. We're so profesh. Hey Casey.
Wicked profesh.
We're trying some new lighting and blocking techniques, so I hope they're working for everybody.
Totes.
Lisa Barton Welch is commenting, but I'm too far away
it's
and I
Lynch.
can't see.
It's Lynch. It's okay.
Lynch, sorry. So I need you to put it up on the phone.
I don't understand technology.
Terrible. All right, you need to cover while I find it.
Hey guys, watch me juggle.
Don't juggle.
Don't worry, honey. Nobody's watching.
We're all watching.
Less people are watching now.
Okay, there you go.
Excellent.
I fixed it, because I fixed things.
Excellent.
I bet you have khaki shorts on.
I don't, but that's okay. I don't have any shorts on.
He's naked from the waist up.
I'm free balling.
Family show, he is not
Because
naked.
I'm free.
He has a very slate colored pair of board shorts, I guess.
Board shorts?
They're not khaki.
They might be tacky.
You would not do well in the Sarlacc pit. No. I think you'd have to be fully covered to even stand a chance in the
Represent.
Sarlacc pit.
Don't talk smack.
Kevin Tachi is watching as well. Executive producer Kevin Tachi, and the North Faces are here, so we're very happy. So we're going to kick it off with our first segment, which is what we watched this week. Does that sound good?
We have segments?
Or should we wait until more people show up?
No, that's okay. We don't care about people.
So, first of all, I just want to mention, I don't know if I look very tan and rested. For Irish, this is the tan. It's a slightly pink hue.
The nose is a little redder than usual.
I took Friday and Monday off from my day job, so I had a mini staycation, and I've decided to #pace the rage, be good to myself, and I unplugged almost entirely from social media and the news.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you could do that.
It's about 80%.
I have FOMO so bad.
You're
missing
that.
out.
And coming from being on a morning show for years and being radio personality, you need to know things before they happen, really. And it becomes an obsession in a way, and it's hard to look away. But I had such a bad week. The things we shall not name, Dumpster Fire 2020, because we're trying to give everybody a respite, if you will, had me in such a rage that it really affected every part of my life. And what were you calling it? I don't remember that. Yeah, okay. What were you calling it the other day? Fatigue.
There's a fatigue that sets in. You know?
And you feel it in every cell. Holly Cantor! How is P-Town? We want details, but not that many details. Smilaniacs are here from Vegas.
Santoro.
Pablo!
Casey Lynch. Casey Lynch's mom is here. But we have Casey Riddles is here.
Okay.
Did you say hi to him?
I said hi to Riddles.
He's a producer.
He is a producer of the show. Thank you
You
very
better
much.
give him some props.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel like he's unsung almost.
Oh, Denny's here too.
Danny Weiss.
So, I unplugged. I went to the beach a lot. I went to the Navy, the Charlestown Navy Yard.
Look at it. It's the Navy Yard. All right?
The Navy Yard.
All right.
And walked around with your brother. And
We used to swim. Not my brother. My brother was little. My brother's like 11 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to swim in the Navy Yard, which is Boston Harbor. We used to swim in the...
That explains a lot.
The dry docks were supposed to be dry. You know, where they build a cofferdam. They sail the ship into the dry dock. They build a cofferdam. They pump out all the water. And now the boat is on staging to be worked on.
Okay.
They always kept those things flooded. Like they were never dry. The dry docks weren't dry. So we, you know, and some of the more intrepid amongst us would like jump off the cranes into the water.
No.
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
Let's not give anybody ideas.
It was
That's
nuts.
terrible.
Oh.
Oh man, children back in the day were left alone. It's amazing any of us survived, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that we did.
Listen,
Boy.
Quincy had the quarries. And we had the
You
dry
had the
docks.
Navy
and-
ad.
oh my God.
So anyway, back to me. I unplugged. It's the greatest thing ever. If you can do it, if you can, where you're only allowing yourself to take in the news and take in the dumpster fire 2020 to small amounts, you're going to feel better. I promise
It's
you.
probably easier to digest that way.
It really is. And listen, remember, the majority of your social media feeds, if you have them, they're your people. And they probably think and feel the way you do about 2020. So really, you're preaching to the converted anyway, if you're like a chronic
Like an echo chamber type
reposter.
thing, yeah.
I do retweet a lot on Twitter, but I have a lot more people that aren't in my social circle on there, and I feel like sometimes things need to be highlighted that are happening.
That was great for you that you were like, you know, you were much cooler. You weren't as bothered.
I swam,
you know,
and I tried out our new beach umbrella, and it only blew away once, and it was an only embarrassing mad dash from the water because I didn't want anybody to be impaled by the umbrella.
Right.
So there I am, like,
would have been terrible.
It was like your worst nightmare Baywatch as I'm running. Boom, Baba, and you know somebody's watching it in slow motion and going, "That chubby mama's all right."
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
And I got the umbrella. Nobody was hurt except my pride, but that's fine.
So, switching gears.
Yes. Oh, Sean O'Brien and Eric Castano are here.
Oh, hello, fellas. I didn't have the best of weekends and weeks.
No, it's been,
I've been on the struggle bus a little bit.
Yeah. No, you've been driving the struggle bus.
Getting dragged along. You know. When is this thing going to stop? Jane, stop this crazy thing!
I think, first of all, I think it's great that you can even talk about the struggle bus. A lot of people want to hide any sort of behavioral health issues that are going on. But we're pretty open.
Yeah, I'm,
and
moderately cuckoo.
But in all seriousness, I'm proud of you for taking steps.
Oh, I promised myself I wasn't going to cry!
Listen, it's a crap show out there, right? Everybody's upset about everything. Anxiety is at an all-time high level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already have anxiety and depression, you're literally on fire all the time. And the last couple of weeks have not been great.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for taking steps to make things better. You got to put the work in, and it gets sort of harder before it gets easier, as we know.
All right, that's enough of that.
All right. I'm just saying, I'm proud of you.
We have a show to do.
I'm proud of you, boo. All right, so let's talk about things that we watched. So, if you're...
Whoa. Speaking of crying,
Yeah,
Should we
so-
start off with that?
Well, here's the thing. I cry at the drop of a hat. I'm of a certain age.
She really does.
I'm hormonal.
So hold on to your hat. Don't drop them.
I love to cry. But the boys in the house, including Dave, it's usually
We
a
don't
dry eye
generally cry,
situation.
you know?
So we rented a movie and all watched it in the living room called The Last Good Measure. If you guys haven't heard of it, was it on Prime or Hulu? I can't remember.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It was
You put
one
me
of
on the spot.
one of the streaming services. It came out in 2019, and I don't think anybody paid any attention because it's based on a true story of a pararescue Air Force jumper who saved a lot of lives, did a lot of great things.
He
in
rescued
Vietnam.
a bunch of Army grunts that were getting that were cut off.
Right, but we don't want to give too much away.
Well, no,
the point is
the bottom line is
he
is
never
that-
got the Medal of Honor.
Right.
He should have got the Medal of Honor.
So this is the story of
It's
the guy who is like a bureaucrat from the Pentagon that goes around and interviews everybody involved.
yeah, because they've been trying for over 30 years to get this guy.
And this is
the
a
Medal
true
of
story.
Honor, and of course he was killed in action.
So here's the thing. The cast.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it Sebastian Stan? Who is the Winter
it's
Soldier?
The Winter Soldier.
All right, he's
Everything you need to know.
he's the young guy. Okay? Samuel L. Jackson, Peter Fonda, Ed Harris, John Savage. Who else? There's somebody else I'm forgetting.
William Hurt. Did you say
William Hurt.
William
How do you
Hurt.
forget William Hurt?
Big.
These guys are all in the same movie together. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's we're talking the Green Mile / Shawshank Redemption level of man cry. The
Yeah,
boys saw like
I was
everybody was like
actually
grabbing
crying
tissues
for real, yeah.
and sobbing,
Yeah.
and and it was emotional.
And it felt kind of good though.
Yeah.
It was like a cleansing.
My dad was
Cry.
in the Air Force. He
My
was
s-
in Vietnam in '65, so I felt like that could have been, my dad could know this guy or had heard of this guy, and there's that, and then of course my stepson did.
Is in basic training right now
For the Air Force.
with the Air Force down in Texas.
Yeah.
Getting hit by hurricanes, and COVID and whatnot.
Peter Fonda, this was his last movie. I think he just passed away. So
And
I
he
think
was
that
good.
was his last movie. It's funny to see Peter Fonda, who you sort of, in your head, he's part of the counterculture.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he didn't go to Vietnam.
Yeah, no.
And he'd be one that went to Canada. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And so it was funny. It was interesting
Seeing
to see
him in the uniform
playing
and
a
stuff.
vet.
Yeah.
Amy Madigan.
Amy Madigan. Well, she's married to Ed Harris, I
Right.
believe.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's sort of like if you haven't cried since Field of Dreams or
Which is what
Shawshank,
The movie is Field of Dreams.
go ahead and watch The Last Good Measure, and we dare you not to cry.
Yeah,
So
I don't
there
see
you
how
go.
you're not gonna. It's awesome.
Also, for those of you who have HBO, I've been watching I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I don't know if you guys
Spooky.
have been watching that. So
Spooky and sad.
Patton Oswalt's late wife was
Is it Michelle McNamara?
Yeah, she was a crime blogger, and she basically blew this case wide open. One of the most.
The Golden State Killer.
He was initially called EAR, the East Area Rapist, as well as something else. There were two nicknames, and then they thought there were two different people. Like an incredible body count, ridiculous. Like one of the biggest serial killers of all time, and a lot of people didn't really know the story.
Yeah.
And she did so much digging that she helped crack the case, and unfortunately, she passed away before.
Just randomly from a health.
Well, it
like,
wasn't random. She had a drug problem that nobody knew about, and basically, she was taking medication to stay up to write the book and to do the crime research.
Yeah,
but
true crime.
also taking medication to help her sleep. She was a new mom. Like there was a lot going on. So Mommy's Little Helper was in full effect, unfortunately, and nobody knew until she passed away in her sleep from being over medicated. So that, of course, is tragic. Everything's tragic, and then they find the killer, and you're just like, ah!
This is like an old case. This is from like the 70s.
Yeah, it's a cold case.
The early 70s,
And
right?
70s and in the early 80s.
Right. Okay. So it was a totally cold case. 40 plus years old, and she was all over it. I was a little scared to watch, to be honest.
It's interesting because they show a lot of the text messages between Patton and Michelle, and he's just so encouraging because he had written a book. This was her first book, and he's like, "It's okay. This is how it goes." Like, she was
like
having
really
a hard
supportive.
time like finishing the book, and he booked her like a suite in some swanky hotel
To just be off by
just
herself.
so she could go off by herself. And you were just like, like, what a great partner he was.
I missed that whole part of it.
But I highly recommend it. So I'll Be Gone in the Dark is the name of it.
True crime is not my jam.
No, and it does, if you have a certain mind, it could give you some nightmares too, because this guy was vicious and brutal. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because we don't need to go into it. But if that's something you're into, I highly recommend it. We also wanted to talk a little bit about the Emmy nominations that came out this week.
I feel like we picked them.
I feel like like we voted.
We didn't vote. It's like, what are Dave and Angie watching? Okay,
well, so we're only going to talk about the top nominated TV shows or miniseries, right? Keith Bennett, I have something for you later. I'm glad
I have this
you're
for you,
here.
man. Yeah!
26 Emmy nominations. The Watchmen. 26.
Guys, listen. I loved it.
I feel like there should be a separate award for taught white people about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Because honestly, so many people had no idea what Juneteenth was before they watched The Watchmen.
But it was also, taught white people about, the whole Tulsa massacre.
Yeah, right.
That kind of thing. But
Systematic oppression?
What a great miniseries! I loved it. I loved it. I like the original, and
movie?
I like the follow up.
Now, did you read the comics?
We have the comic, the graphic novel, which was ranked as like one of the top 100.
I definitely
literature.
I didn't
in
read
the
it.
20th century. So I'm familiar with the story, and of course the movie I loved.
But this, everybody is spectacular in it. It's so well written. It's so
Regina
well
King,
acted.
though.
Regina King is the queen. And yes, that was a pun intended. But she just kicks so much ass all over. If you have not seen the Watchmen series, I urge you to watch it. 26 Emmy nominations, the highest. Second highest, 20 nominations to The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Hilarious.
Fantastic. Who is it? Kevin Pollak and Tony Shalhoub are worth the price of admission alone. Never mind the outfits. And he looks a little like Kevin Pollak. I mean, he's a much more handsome version of Kevin Pollak, don't get me wrong. But there are similarities there, on occasion. Jim Pericotti, I learned about Juneteenth from a Dilbert calendar. Then Scott Adams went full MAGA. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. And it really was more about the Tulsa massacre that Watchmen taught us about. But then once you sort of peel away at that, oh, Juneteenth. Oh,
Yeah, it was cool. It's like almost in a it's in like a parallel America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Robert Redford is president.
And they paid reparations to
that
victims
was the big thing.
of the Tulsa, Tulsa massacre.
Any living descendants of massacre victims got paid, and paid well. And it was interesting that there's many things that you can glean from it
It's
that are
just
happening
crazy.
today. It's
Yeah.
nutty.
The police are all black.
Right. Well, that's the other thing.
And they wear masks.
So you
can't tell who they are.
I mean, it was like a precursor to 2020 without even.
It's really cool.
It's totally crazy.
The Mandalorian.
Well, so we're going down the list. 18 nominations go to Ozark.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to disrespect Ozark.
I mean,
Ozark is
we're
great.
all in for Ozark.
Ozark is great.
It's pretty great.
I mean,
it's certainly
Jason
a
Bateman.
slice of life that none of us would necessarily be familiar
Listen,
with.
I know. Are you not a Laura Linney fan?
I'm on the fence.
All right, look.
I'm still mad at Laura Linney for her turning down to take care of her brother in the hospital in that ridiculous Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
That I can't think of right now.
Yeah. Love Actually?
Yes, Love Actually.
Right.
She was so in love with the dude, and he loves her back, and there's that moment, and they're totally going to hook up, And then her unfortunate brother, who's in a home, calls and
Right.
she
has
blows
to
it
talk
off.
him down. And
Unforgivable.
so look, she's selfless. She worries about other people. All right. But in this show, she really has, in a couple of seasons,
Yeah, this
she's
past
really
season
come
was
out
all
of
the women are
yeah,
running things.
like definitely.
Yeah.
Who's the
Which is
little?
pretty
Who's
cool.
the trailer trash girl?
I don't know.
Oh
what her
my
name is,
goodness.
but she's pretty great.
Look it up. She's awesome. She's awesome.
And she has super curly blonde hair.
Oh, yeah.
So next, 18 nominations go to HBO's Succession.
They're tied with 18?
Yeah. Here's the thing about that show. I think you either love it or hate it. For me, it's a bunch of assholes playing assholes.
Being assholes to each
assholy.
other, yeah.
And
Now, we just said,
I'm apologizing profusely for the
Sorry
Abington
about that,
webcam
Tachis.
crew that have to bleep all of our swears for the television broadcast. I apologize, but there's no getting around it. It's party
overtime, mother.
It's a
I'm just
party of
kidding.
a-holes. The only good thing is that Alan Ruck is in it, who you may remember from Ferris Bueller's Day Off as Cameron Fry. And he
Let
plays
my
such
Cameron
an amazing a-hole that it's almost worth watching.
Yeah, yeah.
We also, little sidebar, he's married to the woman who is sort of the mother figure in
Yeah,
the
the new
TV
mother
show
figure.
Hannah.
Right.
If you watch Hannah on
Mhm.
Prime.
Enos is her last name, right?
Yeah, it's like Mariel Enos, I think. Smoke show. So anyway, we
She's
just
been
sort
look-
of looked
she's
her
from the-
up.
She's from The Killing. Look it up.
Okay.
The Killing was great.
I don't know that you necessarily need to like clap, but okay.
Hey, listen. I gotta do
You're
what
like,
I gotta do.
hello.
I gotta do what I gotta
all right,
do.
so more importantly, 15 Emmy nominations. Mandalorian right out of the gate. We couldn't be more excited or proud.
This is the way.
This is the way. I
Have
have
spoken.
spoken. The Emmys have spoken. So I don't care whether you're a Star Wars fan or not. If you're a fan of like space movies and westerns, this is your jam.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely check it out if you
John
haven't, so we
Favreau
can
produced
talk
it.
about it. And
He
the
did
guy,
a great job.
the guy that's the heir apparent to George Lucas,
Dave Filoni?
Dave Filoni, his hands are all over this, and pretty much anything he touches
Yeah.
has been amazing. And
Yeah.
they're going back to the drawing board on some of the other spin-off
I think this is
shows,
his
and they're going
first
to
live
model it
action
after it. Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Dave
he did
Filoni
Clone
does.
Wars.
Yeah,
and,
he's an anime guy.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
he's
he's
good,
George's
good storyteller.
dude. Like he's
Yeah,
definitely taking.
he's had plenty of
the
time to
reins.
pick George's brain.
Yeah, it's and even the making of the Mandalorian on the
They
Disney
all
Plus
sit around.
channel.
Yeah, Ron
Do
Howard's
it.
daughter is one of the directors.
Yeah, Bryce Howard
Bryce
is one of the
Dallas
directors,
Howard, yeah.
and Taika Waititi,
Taika Waititi.
who Dave is modeling his whole life after these days.
The guy is awesome. I mean, I just want to go to
Yeah,
New Zealand
he's
so
pretty
bad.
great.
He's pretty great.
I'm the worst.
I'm
at
gonna make a
those.
little show. Wanna watch it?
Also, 15 nominations to Saturday Night Live, which I'm not really sure why that's
Really?
really 15.
Because
I
they're
mean,
on a lot of. Listen, I've loved Saturday Night Live, forever. It's had its flat moments, and it has its really great moments,
Mhm.
But 15, really? Wow.
Um,
It is a live show though, so.
also tied for 15 nominations for the Emmys. Get ready to bleep. Schitt's Creek. We were very late to the party on this one, but ew, David, amazing. Like so funny. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Snort, snort, snort. More
Right,
laughing.
right.
Like it's just
Okay, look at
nuts.
Eugene Levy from Second City Television, the dad from American Pie.
Yes.
Okay, his actual son is Dan Levy, right? He wrote it. They produce it together.
I think he directs it too, doesn't he?
I don't think he directs every episode.
Yeah, but it's his baby.
Right. It's his project. He came up with it, and it is hilarious. It's like, it's clean. It's like, it's got like, somebody said something about it today on the radio, and I was like, yeah, it is. It's all those things. It's like kind-hearted.
Yeah.
It's not too filthy at all. It's very,
No,
it's pretty clean.
It's super silly.
It's ridiculous.
And Catherine
Catherine O'Hara.
O'Hara is a national treasure,
Oh my
international
gosh,
treasure.
well, she is Canadian. So.
And there are times when I find myself literally channeling her
Ted.
in the way that I speak.
She plays a has-been actress, wife of the mogul.
Yeah, he was
right?
a video store.
He was a video store mogul. So he's kind of past his prime.
He was like the blockbuster dude.
And the family loses everything. And as a joke, the father had purchased this town.
Yeah, for his son.
For his son,
birthday.
as a joke. So he had,
and
it's called Schitt's Creek.
We don't need to mansplain more than that, though. Like, it's just watch. It's great. Chris Elliott's
in it.
So good. Everybody's so good.
Hilarious.
And after we talk about stuff that we watched, Dennis said that he was late to that as well, but he binged it like it was his job. I love that.
Ew,
Binge it like it's your job. Normally this is the part of the program where we talk about things that we listened to this week, but we really kind of had a slow music week because we had a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I unplugged. You know what I do at the beach, by the way? I am a sick biatch who listens to reggae while at the beach. Like, I put on Steel Pulse Steppin' Out, and I got my AirPods in.
Steppin' Out!
Yeah, and then like there's a whole like Bob Marley medley, and I even went so far as to play the soundtrack from the movie The Beach. Like, I was so on brand, you wanted to puke, but I unplugged and I felt lovely. But this is the part where I wanted Keith Bennett to have a heads up because there's one of these specifically about him. So we found this great, and I think Mark Hammy actually retweeted it. So this is how I found it. McSweeney's. There is an article by John Peck, and it's called "What Your Favorite Classic Rock Band Says About You."
Mm-hmm.
So we picked some of the choice bands and what they say about you, and yes, Thin Lizzy is on the list, and it's very Keith Bennett-esque. So I wanted to make sure he was here and ready and open to hear that. So if you've already read it, then we'll just laugh together and play along. But here we go. So The Doors. If you are a fan of The Doors, if that's your favorite classic rock band, you have been bitten by an animal while trying to get it stoned.
Right.
Pretty valid.
Yep.
If you're a fan of The Doors, I'm sorry, Ted Nugent.
May I?
Go right ahead.
I like to, we alternate.
Yeah,
right?
we do. Go ahead.
If you're a fan of Ted Nugent,
The Nuge.
Your hair has at some point been caught in either a ceiling fan, a boat propeller, or a lathe.
What's a lathe, honey? Because I don't really know what that
it's
means.
what you turn spindles on. So you put a piece of wood in there, and it spins it, and you put a knife up to it, and you can make a baseball bat, or
like a bed post?
Yes, a spindle.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if your favorite classic rock band is Deep Purple, some part of a law named after a young girl applies to you.
That's a good one.
That's terrible.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
I'm going to continue because Dave's son is actually calling us live right now from basic training, and he only gets a couple of minutes. So if he can get him back on the phone, I'll go ahead and continue with this list while you go talk to Connor off camera.
Hey, pal. Hey, you're on the air.
Say hi from basic
hey, everybody.
training in Lackland, Texas.
It's Connor Dow from Lackland, Texas. Lackland Air Force Base.
All right.
He says hi to everyone.
All right. Go talk to him. It's
All right,
important.
so,
we never know when
I
the phone
think I
calls
saw
are
a
coming
picture
in. And if he misses a phone call, I mean, it's basic training. He's like kind of losing his mind. So. Hey, Chris Duggan. Congratulations are in order, I believe. So the next one, if your favorite classic rock band is Led Zeppelin, the first three things you smoked were banana peels, catnip, and poppies, in that order. Also pretty valid. If your favorite classic rock artist is Jimi Hendrix, you are either under the year 20 or you're over 65, which again is pretty spot on. Black Sabbath, again, this is all from a McSweeney's article we read earlier today. We just picked the best ones because we thought they were hilarious. If you are a fan of David Bowie, if David Bowie is your #1 classic rock artist, There is still somewhere a Dig Dug or a Zaxxon machine with your high score on it. Are you guilty? I bet you are. Mott the Hoople, if that's your favorite classic rock band, then you're David Bowie. I thought that was bloody clever. If your favorite band is the Moody Blues, well, first of all, we're probably not friends and you're probably not watching. You are a former volunteer at the Liberace Museum, a serial killer, or both. Also pretty valid. The Eagles, you can only reach orgasm while listening to talk radio. Sorry, that one really made me laugh. Pink Floyd, if Pink Floyd's your favorite, you are often forced to change, your garage is full of failed versions of your stereo barbecue hybrid. Most Pink Floyd fans that I know totally make those kinds of things in their garage, so I feel like that is also pretty valid. I love Jimmy and Don't Fit, but my friend's 11-year-old told me she liked him. Yes, Hendrix, they discover them when they're really young, or they appreciate later when they're older. I mean, who doesn't love Hendrix? But you sort of, kind of put him away and take him out for special occasions. All right, Keith Bennett, front and center, please. This one is for you. If your favorite classic rock band is Thin Lizzy, you are often forced to change or cancel your plans due to no loitering signs. Now, Keith, if that's not you, I don't know what is. Clay is not going to like that. Oh, with the Eagles? Yeah. We have a friend who tours with the Eagles, and shh, don't tell him. Chicago. If your favorite classic rock artist is Chicago, this is probably my favorite one. You are incapable of talking about Chicago without mentioning their horn section. Seriously, guys. If your favorite band is AC/DC, you only remove your socks to shower, and then only reluctantly. If you're a fan of Aerosmith, you know a store that still sells puffy Reeboks. Am I right? It's pretty genius. And no, I did not write these. It's from a McSweeney's article that was making the rounds today. Hello, Sean McNally. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. If you're a fan of Van Halen, if they're your favorite classic rock artist, Brian Mulhern, wherever you are, Dave Dow, who's currently on the phone, Van Halen, you have a peeing Calvin bumper sticker on your Jeep. So, right. Sammy Hagar. Perhaps we can even throw in Van Hagar to that. You have a peeing Calvin bumper sticker on your Subaru Brat. If your favorite classic rock artist is Santana, you've had an hours-long conversation with someone before realizing it was just a pile of clothes. I may or may not be guilty of that. If your favorite is Rainbow, you have absolutely worn sweatpants to a funeral. I might also be guilty of that. Do stretch pants count? I mean, they're a chubby girl's best friend. I'm sure at some point I wore them to a funeral. Does everybody have a funeral outfit, by the way? This happens as we get older, especially when we're at an age where a lot of our friends' parents and grandparents are passing away, where you sort of have an outfit in the back of the closet, specifically just for funerals. Mine is like a long black skirt, a long black shirt. It's very on brand. Anyway, I'm curious to see if you guys have one of those as well. Okay, Allman Brothers Band. This should be good, and I love this. A lot of you guys are fans of ZLX, and I know you. So the classic rock thing is right in our wheelhouse. If the Allman Brothers Band, or the ABB as I refer to them on the air, you do not own a bong, but you can quickly make one from a piece of fruit or an abandoned toilet. Right? These are hilarious. I urge you to find the entire article that's on McSweeney's because it's pretty great. I can use it to double as the Blues Brothers for parties. I missed the first part of that, Lewis. I am sorry. It's hard sometimes to be able to read stuff off of my notes and also check the comments at the same time, which is why it's better when Dave is here. Again, Dave has left momentarily to speak to his son, who is in basic training in Lackland, Texas, and we never know when he's going to call. And when he calls, you just got to go and talk on the phone until they yell for him to get off. If the band Cream, the supergroup Cream, is your favorite classic rock band, you know a guy who knows a guy who worked on Star Wars. Valid. Journey. Your favorite band is Journey. You own those running shoes that are shaped like feet. Those are the weirdest things ever. Can we just talk about that? Although there is a point, I go to my local beach right down the street, and it's very rocky. When you walk into the water, you have to sort of go through a gauntlet of a ton of different size stones, and it gets to the point where you wear your flip-flops in because it hurts your feet. And I often think, would I like stoop to that level to buy those weird shoes that are shaped like feet and look like toes at the beach so that I don't hurt myself? No, I think I'd rather bleed. Thank you. Leonard Skinner, you somehow have both long hair and a sunburned scalp at the same time. Also perfect. The band Yes, your ideal partner would be both into tantric sex and fat guys. Little on point there as well. Creedence Clearwater Revival, you are frequently missing part of an eyebrow. Rush, you carry a small flashlight everywhere and use it at least 3 times a day. Okay, that is all Rush fans and every engineer I've ever met. And especially like radio engineers and recording studio engineers. That one, my friends, is perfect. And finally, the Pièce de Resistance, my least favorite classic rock artist of all time, because I feel that the flute and classic rock should not go together, of course, is Jethro Tull. And if your favorite artist is Jethro Tull, you have a favorite room. So there we go. That's the McSweeney's. Are you back? Ooh,
yes, I am.
Scary. Look at your big head.
Yes, I am.
Look at your big, handsome
Look
head.
at the size of that boy's melon. It's
like,
huge.
It's like an orange on a toothpick.
It's got its own weather systems.
Go cry yourself to bed on your wee pillow.
And your huge pillow. Oh, that was out of bounds.
It's like an orange
So, guys, I apologize for that, but when the boy calls from Texas,
I
you got to take the call.
Yeah, you got to take the call. So we went through the whole list. I think everybody was pretty pleased. I missed the fact that I couldn't see the comments here. So that was a little difficult. I didn't get to see. But most of them are saying, yes, it's perfect. It's totally valid. Nicole is telling me to get water shoes. I had mentioned...
it's rocky.
It's very rocky at the beach. And I don't know, is water shoes like too lame? Like right now I'm just wearing my flip-flops in.
Water shoes stay on. Flip-flops want to come off in the waves.
True. Valid point.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob Tarasi. Take the call! Yeah, you gotta take the call.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
How's he doing?
He's doing good.
Good.
You know, he's like, some people just don't learn. I'm like, look at, you gotta try to help people out. You know, try to be the best wingman you can be. He's like, yeah, it gets really frustrating.
Yeah, it's basic training. It's not supposed to be a joyride.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna get a blanket party, but next week is Beast Week. That's like their the Hell Week thing where they camp out and it's all they bivouac out in the boonies.
Look at you just throwing out the lingo.
Yeah.
Pew pew bivouac. Pew pew.
Oh yeah.
Blanket party. Pew pew. Okay, so speaking of music, we talked last week or the week before that about the X-Night reunion that was live on Twitch. That DJ Lovegun, aka Mike Joshua, threw a little online X-Night dance party, and we couldn't stop listening to it, and it was totally awesome. Well, there's another one, and it's happening this Saturday night. So we will put a link for you, or let you know. You have to be on Twitch to watch it.
Our pal Mike Joshua.
And Twitch is a free app, so you don't have to pay anything. Just download it on your smartphone or tablet, what have you.
Mike was like the voice of the commercial. He was, a lot of times he...
There are a lot of
the
voices of the commercial.
He's a later voice that I remember.
Yeah. Don't just say it, scream it! X-Night!
Yeah.
We used to all have to pile into the production studio booth and scream it for Troy or Kurt or Liquid Todd. And then Mike Joshua. There's a little trip down FNX memory lane.
What's FNX?
It was a
That's
really
a story
cool
for another
radio
day.
station in the 90s that allowed me to get kissed by this man right here on my cheek. Thank you. So I also
Both
woke
cheeks.
up singing The Rave Ups Positively Lost Me completely out of the blue the other day. I have not watched 16 Candles or Pretty in Pink in a
What is it
long
like?
time.
You lost a lot when you lost me.
6 paperback books and a dime tree.
Yeah, like
Looking glass and a diamond ring. I don't know. It's just.
yeah.
It's one of those songs that gets stuck in your head, so you're welcome.
And
But
listen, we did call it the worst talk show.
there's no way to go but up.
Oh.
The Rave Ups, if you remember, the music wasn't necessarily in 16 Candles, but their name was. It was the back. It was on the back of Samantha Baker's binder. It said, written in marker, with the Rave Ups, and that was because
You went way too deep.
Molly Ringwald's sister was either married to or dating a member of the Rave Ups at the time, but they end up appearing in Pretty in Pink when they go to that club that they sneak in underage all the time, and the band on stage is the Rave Ups, and they're playing that song. So there's my little what was in my head this week for music.
I was never a huge fan of the Ravens.
Well, I mean, really, it's like that song, and there might be one other. It's kind of like the Plimsolls. Like, they had an amazing, big,
Wait a
awesome
minute.
song, and then there was just kind of,
Mm.
don't you wait a minute with me.
Ravens song.
All one-hit wonders are like superstar local bands to their local people, but the rest of the world only knows them as a one-hit wonder. It is what it is. We also like to talk about what we ate this week.
Everything.
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 So,
Hey, should we talk about secret date night?
oh, secret date night. So we told you guys last week how we have a secret date night and we sneak out away from the kids and don't let them know that we're taking
Or-
takeout.
You sneak up into the room. There's not supposed to be any food upstairs, guys. We have teenagers, okay? You have food upstairs, next thing you know, there's like barbecue sauce in the rug, okay? It's nuts, right? You can't allow it.
So this week,
But we're responsible adults.
we decided to go off campus, and we had a lovely little date night in the car.
Mm-hmm.
We ordered the food, picked up the food, wearing the masks and hand sanitizing.
Yeah.
We shared a sandwich from our favorite fried chicken sandwich.
Flip the bird.
We are not getting paid for any of that.
Flip that bird.
We don't get any.
And I'm
free
clapping
food.
again.
Flip
Damn
the
it.
bird. So good. Hi, Dan Schatz. Nice to see you. And the sandwiches are so massive, we actually split one.
Right.
And that was enough for us.
Yeah.
So let that be a lesson.
Plus
to
an
you.
order of fries and
And some.
order mini biscuits.
Oh,
with,
the mini biscuits.
with the cinnamon butter
Yeah.
as a little dessert.
Yeah.
And we had half and halves. Ah, come on.
Yeah.
What's
also
more
known
summertime than
Arnold
an
Palmer.
Arnold Palmer, really?
Half
Arnie
iced tea,
Palmies.
half lemonade, 100% sugar. But it was delightful.
Yeah.
Also, I made lemonade out of lemons we had 50,000 bags of riced cauliflower in the freezer.
Yeah,
From like a messed up order
Right.
for BJ's for
We got
Instacart.
extra.
Like I hit the wrong thing and ended up getting like 5,000 bags. And you can only make the faux fried rice so many times before the family revolts and throws it back at you. So what I did was I just steamed it, mashed it, and threw sour cream and cheddar cheese like it was a loaded baked potato kind of a thing, but it was cauliflower, so it was almost kind of healthy adjacent.
Look at the 99 was where I first learned about mashed cauliflower as a replacement for mashed potatoes.
The 99.
Look at, it's good. The
Culinary masterpiece.
the mashed
The
cauliflower
99.
changed my life.
So that I was really proud of that. Also, listen, I baked something, you guys. Now, it's probably racist,
Whoa.
but I did Google. I was brought up in Salem, Massachusetts. My mom used to make. It was like Toll House cookies, but it was in a brownie form, right? It was in a bar form, and they called them Congo bars. And for years and years, I never even thought like it was a thing. And then I'm like, oh my God, is this racist? So I don't know if it is or not. I did look it up though, and it said it was definitely a southern New England thing, that's what they called it. They're basically the same recipe as Toll House cookies. I think there's a little more flour and a little more baking powder. But I'm curious if you guys called them that, or if you, because they're not blondies. Blondies are not made with chocolate chips. So, and also they had walnuts in them.
Well, they're they're not 7-layer bars because there aren't 7 things in there. Right? There's no coconut.
No,
there's no graham cracker.
It's just the recipe for Toll House cookies, but in a bar form.
And okay, cookie bars.
I don't know, but we grew up calling them Congo bars, and I had to hide them. By the way.
Oh no, they didn't last.
They did last a full 36 hours because I screamed at everybody that I wanted to have more than one before they disappeared. I made a big batch, and so I put tinfoil over the pan that I baked them in, and then I wrote on the tinfoil, "No touchy," and then I hid it in the microwave. And still, when I woke up in the morning, the tinfoil had been messed with. I am like a forensic scientist when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
I know. And there was only one slice when I put it away that had been cut out. And that slice magically tripled in size overnight.
She's in there like with rubber gloves on, and she's got a pencil, and she's like, she's picking up the tinfoil. She's like, the subject was left-handed and used a serrated knife.
Listen, you guys, I'm just, it drives me nuts that the second I bake something or put something in the fridge from the store, it magically disappears.
That's what you get for making delicious stuff.
I guess so. It also is what I get for
I have a Congo bar stuck in my hair right now.
living with a bunch of teenagers.
It's impermeable. You can't. It's impenetrable.
All I can say is
saving it for later.
Thank sweet baby Yoda that the daughter has like almost no appetite and barely eats anything. I mean, she drinks a lot of lemonade or ice cream, but that's about it.
She's got a thing where she puts like strawberry kiss, like what is it? Like it's
syrup?
It's like syrup.
Strawberry syrup.
In
syrup.
I don't know if she puts it in water to make strawberry water, or if it's lemonade and she puts it in to make strawberry lemonade.
I think she's just a mixologist and she's thinking outside of the box.
Ugh.
That's what I think. But she doesn't eat all the Congo bars and she doesn't drink all the seltzer.
She won't touch seltzer.
And leave the half can of seltzer strategically placed and
it's a well-known
strewn
fact
about the house.
It's a well-known fact that carbonation bubbles cause cancer, so...
Kendall just doesn't like the carbonation, and that's fine. But she's also as a suspect. I mean, we buy so much seltzer, and it just goes bye-bye, and half of it I end up pouring down the drain flat when I find it the next day.
Go to Ocean State Job Lot and get cases upon cases of cans. And then you'll find 3/4 of a can here, open somewhere. Another half a can over here.
Ugh.
Another room has like 1/4 of a can. One of them is an open can that had a sip taken out of it. It's like amazing.
Speaking of seltzer cans, tell them what you found in your car this week. It was the hottest week we've had this summer
it was
so far.
the heat index was crazy. Okay, the heat index was 100 or over, and we hid in the air conditioning. And I had to go out to the car for something.
Hey, John Mulaney. Hey, Patricia.
And I look in my center console where there had been a full, unopened can of, I think it was cranberry lime seltzer. It blew up. The can exploded. It ripped. Now, I'm not saying it didn't just like rip open like this and like let out the heat. The whole top ripped off of the can. The top just ripped off and was hanging off, and half the can was gone. And in the cup holder, in the whole center console, it was underwater. Like it like exploded and landed
Well,
in the center console.
If it was 100 degrees outside your car and
It
your
had to be-
windows were closed, it was
I don't
at
know.
least, what, 125 degrees inside?
Yeah,
150?
you know,
I mean,
and then
you know,
and then the yeah.
you
we
can't
didn't-
leave a seltzer unattended in a locked car in the summer.
It
We
was-
have laws about these
Golly,
things.
Mr. Science, that's amazing! It was unbelievable. I was kind of amazed. I'm not lying.
All right, so Keith Bennett is talking some smack about me wearing the extra dough on my head, sitting in front of Boston Public Library dressed like Leia and trying to baptize pigeons. Listen, I thought we weren't going to talk about that, Keith. It was
Keith.
one time. One time.
Listen, we don't talk about everybody's foibles, Keith.
Does anybody have any stuff to ask us or talk about? Because we have like 8 minutes left, and we've officially run out of our topics.
We did.
Cans explode.
I haven't even been. I haven't told
You were gone the whole time.
Oh
we were
my
doing
Lord!
our
I'm not even going to get
favorite
paid full wage for this one.
I think my favorite for the bands was the Santana one because I have had a 4-hour discussion with a person who turned out to be a pile of clothes.
We didn't do that to you.
College. 2 nights ago. No, I'm just kidding. So
I didn't have the heart to tell her I was under the pile of clothing.
By the way, did you guys notice that Dave fixed his hair?
I got to go to the hairdresser.
Yeah, and he wore a mask, right, the whole time.
Right. She wore a mask and I wore a mask and.
And it wasn't the butcher job that I had done in the bathroom.
Well, no, I mean,
It's all
you know.
even and nice and contoured
Right,
to the
you
shape
know,
of your,
it's all right.
of your lovely head.
I was glad because I've had appointments. I've had like doctor's appointments and stuff the last few days.
Listen, you gotta look good for your therapist in
Listen.
the telehealth visits.
You know, I'm on a Zoom call. I want to at least look sane.
Can you talk about the first unexpected Zoom? You forgot that you had made an appointment for your first Zoom telehealth call?
It was last week, and it was
Wednesday.
it was
right
really
before this show.
It was a hot day, hot and sweaty, and I got in the door, and the kids weren't around.
And you had just gotten off work, right? So
Yes.
When
So
he
I got in
comes
the
home
door.
from the day on baby gravy time,
I was
and
like-
he rips all of his clothes off except like
Can I tell
the
the story?
underwear. Sure.
Do you mind?
No,
Can I finish?
you can finish.
Can I finish? All right. So anyway, it's like Davy Gravy, and I rip all my clothes off. No, I'm just kidding. So
You're a jerk.
it was like I was swimming in my clothes. Okay, so I didn't want to go upstairs and shower immediately. I
Yeah,
wanted
because
a
our
cold
bedroom's
drink.
like 4 floors up.
Right,
And
you
that's
know.
only because we live in a very skinny townhouse.
Yes.
It's not that we have any money.
So, to make a long story even longer, so I figured I'd sit on the couch, wrapped in various blankets, swaddled, I like to say, like the baby Jesus, and I would watch some Netflix or whatever.
Completely
Okay.
forgetting that he had a video call.
So, I'm relaxing. I put the AC in there, so it's nice and cool, and I'm chilled, and then the phone rings, and I look at it, and it's my brand new therapist for my first meeting,
And he's shirtless.
and I have no clothes on except underwear,
And it's a Zoom call.
and I can't not take it.
Yeah, like, when you get an appointment with a therapist right now during the pandemic and everything
That's
that's
it.
going on,
Yeah, I get
you gotta
it.
take
You gotta
it.
take it, right? So I've got the phone like this up to my like so that you couldn't see anything, you know. And she's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "I'm really terribly sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, I was in the middle of this, that, and the other thing." She's like, "But you have a shirt on, right?"
Hey,
I'm like,
Stacey.
"Yeah, I got a shirt on."
So, well, I catch him, and he's got the plaid blanket
Oh, I got
on him
blankets
like
over
he's
me.
a Highlander.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
over here.
Freedom!
Hiding himself,
Holding
so
the
she doesn't see a nipple.
And I'm like, yeah, oh, God forbid there be nipplage. So, I'm trying, so she had no question as to why I needed therapy. Okay, it's totally.
I think it was obvious.
Yeah, I think it's obvious.
By the way, a couple people had similar cans explode in their cars like you did. Sean O'Brien says, I totally had this happen in my car. I almost drove off the road. So it happened while he was driving. Can you imagine if that had happened? Dennis says a friend had a half-full 2-liter plastic bottle of fresh squeezed OJ in their Jamaican hotel room, middle of the night. I'm assuming the thing exploded.
Yeah, big boom.
Big boom, OJ
dripping from the ceiling.
And in Jamaica, where you're already high because it's Jamaica.
Right.
Oh, wow, that's really funny.
So, yeah, it was interesting. And it was a successful, it was a successful session, and then I had to come upstairs
and immedially do a show.
I mean, I'm going through all these traumatic episodes
like
and stuff.
His head is cracked wide open, and it's like,
I walk
everybody,
upstairs.
It's showtime!
I walk upstairs like baby Huey, sobbing. I got my big boy diaper on with the blanket wrapped around me.
Plaid blanket.
Oh, Lord!
You look like a Scottish baby Huey.
Oh, look at him! He's funny. Look at him! He's a handsome little toddler with a mustache.
Totally ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Stacy finally joining us. Thank you. We missed you, Stacy. Oh, Deandra's here. Hello, Deandra. Yeah. So the lesson is remember when you have therapy appointments, especially when they're on video. And don't leave your seltzer unattended in the car. When it's hot out.
It was 2 days. I mean, it was it was amazing.
He took a picture and posted it to me, and it took me a minute. I was like, what am I looking at? I don't really understand. It exploded in the car!
Yeah.
So we will post it when this thing goes up on Facebook after we're done in a couple minutes. We'll have you post the picture in the comments so you guys can see what we're talking
Absolutely
about.
clean. It blew the top off.
It was like a science experiment. Malibu.
Right.
I just made you laugh.
And all my quarters were underwater. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, so it was like a wishing well in your car.
Oh, yeah. I wish it didn't happen.
I'm taking this one back. This was my wish, and it didn't come true. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back. Thank you, Goonies and Scene.
Christ.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, but we did want to remind everybody that you are officially part of the show. It is going to be broadcast this Friday night.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. on ABCAM, Abington Community Access. So if you have Verizon and you're in the South Shore and you're in their area, it's channel 28. If you have Comcast, it's channel 13. And if you just want to watch at your leisure, we have our own playlist.
Remember,
on YouTube.
Pants are optional.
Yes, pants always optional. Just go to the Abington Community Access YouTube page, and you'll see the Worst Talk Show. And we have an awesome little rockin' opener.
Best part of the show.
Pretty cool and stuff. It's animated. It's awesome. So, thank you guys. We love you. We know it's really hot. Take my advice. Unplug if you can. Remove yourself from the news and social media for a certain amount of hours of the day. Pace the rage. We got a long way to go. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Every day it's a new level of hell.
A new strange thing.
So we love you. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we will see you next week.
Is that the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
You spent half of it on the phone with Connor.
I missed it. Can we start over?
It's basic training. What are you going to do? When the call comes, the call comes.
That's it. I love my son.
Yeah, and send some good vibes Connor's way. He's going to need it because, what is it, Beast Week next week?
Yes.
That's the toughie. We love you guys. Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you for being awesome.